from a man's point of view, it's going to be Big Bro Blake, Top Bash Blake, man, and then my brother Maston. So you guys be able to hear from their point of view how they look at things, and it may be controversial, man. I appreciate you for the gifts, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it may be controversial, man, but I'm super excited about this topic because today and age, man, I was just telling the team, how can you tell from controlling? One of the things, man, that one that stood out that I even talk about in my stream multiple times, right? Um, that when a man tell you what you can and can't wear, you get what I'm saying? And one people says out of respect, you should listen to your man. Absolutely, but not when he doing it for the wrong reasons. You get what I mean? That got included. But it's the little things that we're gonna talk about, man. Make sure y'all hit the admins. We got Joe Best in here. We have Brookie. We have Ocean in here, y'all. Make sure y'all get a chance to fave one another. I'm super excited. My brother Free Soul in the building. Can't wait to have you on, Free Soul. But yeah, I'm super excited, man. You know, look, this is the first day over here. Well, not the first time, but ever since we switched, but we brought it back. You know, it's highly participated, man. That is a platform that men can actually speak. You know what I mean? Men, they be able to use their voice. You got to come clean and correct, baby. You know what I mean? You got to be dapper up. Hey, bro, date.
Okay. Ocean, where are you? Hi, everyone. Keep it respectful. Yes, please keep it respectful. No swearing, nudity, drugs, alcohol. Hi, Blake. Any of that, or we will remove you.
I just came up with an idea, y'all, and I you know me, I'm an idea type of guy. So to start off the show, before we actually get people in, I'm gonna ask you, you and Ocean to do give me a throwaway question just to start off for the people in the comments. Just a question that we may not use right on the spot. Yeah, so a question that we may not use, or a question to start off people in the comment, give them something to think about. You know what I mean? Because I have the questions here, but you guys can start off with the first question for the comments.
You'll just put us on the spot, you know.
That's how I am, man. Hey, yo, Barbie G. Hey, you know what? You know what? You look really cool. I'm gonna get beat up later, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, Barbie.
You really put us on the spot because I have the questions for the show, but I don't want them
We have so
used
many
like.
questions,
What would you say if you could say one thing about yourself, like that would be considered a red flag? What would it be, and why?
Huh? If they got to do with controlling and leadership, we need one of those questions.
No, she just came up with a question.
Controlling can be a red flag.
Is how no, what would you say controlling is? Like, is that controlling? Like,
There you go.
or like, do you feel like that's a red flag?
So the
What is
question is,
controlling
y'all,
to you?
I'm assuming. What up, Jen? What is controlling to you guys in the comments? Blake, you ready, Blake? Yeah, born ready. Born ready. Hey, Blake, I heard you here. You was interested about this cruise, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that later. Feel?
Can
Yeah.
you see all the questions now in the chat? I've
Let me
redone.
let me bust it down real quick.
But everyone, welcome. This is the very, very first show on Meet Me. We've been doing it on another platform. So we're super excited to have amazing guests, and thank you so much for Manson for stepping in. He actually chose the topic. So just come, and we want to hear a man's point of view and whatever you guys think. There's no right or wrong. It's up to you what you guys think. And in the comments, women have so much to say all the time. Please ask your questions in the end. We let people in the box, and you get to have your say. So we're going to be on you because you all have something to say. Any other live just before in Country's previous live, you had a lot to say. So we're going to be watching. So, and nothing, you're not ridiculed for anything you say or believe either. But yeah.
But
I'm ready.
if you do swear in the box, you still owe 1K.
Yeah.
Talk your talk, Ocean.
All right, let's go. Let's
All
go.
right, y'all ready? Y'all excited? Cupcake. So listen, y'all, we're gonna invite Blake into the box real quick, y'all. I'm super excited to introduce himself. You know what I mean? This is I was just with Blake last week. You know what I mean? We was on the show last week together. Hey man, you pretty dapper, man. You know?
Listen, I got the excitement. I was ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna make you meet him till Meston get in here, y'all. So real quick, Blake, introduce yourself real quick, man. Let the people know who you are.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. I'm Blake Premier. It's an honor to be Top Badge Blake. I saw you. I've never just been called Top Badge Blake. So yeah, I've been on this app for 4.5 years. Started during the pandemic and gone to every playlist, live fest, live event. So love meeting up with everyone and super excited about this topic.
Yeah, man. So what this topic means to you, Blake. I mean, for as your past relationship, or you went through it, or you know somebody that you had to give advice to that been going through it or went through this type of scenario, right?
Yes, bro. I did so much thought into this topic. We're gonna have so much good discussion. I've been thinking about this all day, and yeah, you take whatever direction you want, but I can throw a lot of stuff that rings true for me. So some of the main points that I want to bring up, and one of the main things I wrote down is if you're creating a relationship where your partner has to go along with your choices just to not upset you, I think that's creating a bad controlling relationship.
Right.
So that's one way I define it. If you're just going along with your partner and it's just I just don't want to upset them, you've created a terrible relationship, male or female. And I think that is a horribly controlling relationship. Now, I will say this. What woman or male, but I think, does not like being hey, it's your birthday. I got tickets. We're going 15 minutes, pack your bags. We're going to the Bahamas for your birthday. That's some leadership in a really great direction that I think is a wonderful role to play as a man. Taking some of that leadership, taking that role of taking some of the thinking off your partner's plate and being yo, here's where we're going that direction. Now, obviously, if your partner has an issue with that, you have to be attuned to their needs. But I think a lot of healthy relationships respond to leadership like that in a good direction, and not again controlling and stuff like that. So those are some of my thoughts, but bro, I have so many more.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. And we have Manston. Manston is the reason why this topic is this topic. So I'm assuming this has been heavy on his heart, why he want to talk about this. So Manston, real quick, what do this topic means to you? What's up, bro?
This topic is deep for me, man, because one, I'm honored to be here. I want to be enlightened on this topic. It is something that I feel a lot of men struggle with because, I feel like a lot of women look for us to have that role of leadership, but there's a fine line of getting into the controlling factor. And so, I think if a man doesn't lead, a woman loses respect for him. But if he falls into the line of being controlling, she loses respect for him too. So it's a catch-22, and I think we can all learn from it and grow from it.
I appreciate you, man. So I'm pretty, anyway, y'all, my name is Big Country, y'all. Welcome to Men Take a Seat, grown men at the seat, not boys at the table. You feel me? So these are all grown men. We're having grown topics, men conversations from a man's point of view. Please feel free to, if you have any questions, please do not hide these questions, because this is what these guys here for, to answer the question the best of their ability and give you the best advice they can, right? So my name is Big Country, man. This topic to me, I am big on men empowerment, right? So leadership and controlling is different. People used to say it based on how you raise. I grew up in an abusive relationship, you know what I mean? So that's another way of controlling things. But I do want to start out with an amazing question. Here's the first question that goes to both of you guys. It says, how do leadership I mean, how do leaders in a relationship encourage and value their partners? What is it? And what is it? Autumn. What did you put right here? Man, what's up with these questions, man? Is this spelled right? Anyway, look, let me go ahead and finish this question. It said the value of the partnerships and independence. Independence.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Again, a great leader definitely listens to those they're, pointing in a certain direction. So for sure, like, and a controlling relationship is one where you do not take any account of your partner's needs and just make a decision based off solely your sole interest. That is bad leadership just in general, and it's awful relationship. It's awful in a relationship as well. However, I do think a partner finds it attractive if they see you leading from a place of love, from a place of passion, from a place of integrity. I feel like that's leadership. So it's like leading from that place, I think is like essential. And I think that is like a key to a healthy relationship, is a partner seeing you have such a core set of values that you believe in. And like, this is why you're making a decision, but at the same time, you're still taking input and not just trying to say like, this is what we're doing. I don't care what you're thinking.
Hey, real quick, autonomy. I don't even know what autonomy is. Let alone giving me questions. Like, come on, man. Look, I'm from the hood, grew up in the hood, and give me some work. Look, I've looked up the questions, okay? Look, that's okay, we'll get through it. Okay, Master, what is your input on that question?
Well, I mean, integrity was said, and I want to back Blake up on that. I think having your partner trust that you have their best interest at heart, and not being controlling is by asking questions, by being able to listen, to understand, not to respond when they come to you, to give words of confirmation, to build them up and say, you can do it. I'm biblical, so I'm going to try to give some biblical backing on that, to make them have a strong foundation on what they feel they can do all things through Christ who strengthens them. I'd ask them advice that they would give themselves, and let them give themselves advice, because sometimes us hearing our advice helps us work through things. I think men want to jump in and fix things right away, and sometimes part of being leading is not controlling them to where they want to go, but helping guide them to where they want to go by having communication with them and letting them figure out how they want to get there. You're just there for support.
Oh, that's a good question. So based off, I mean, piggyback off that, man, is like encouraging your partner, right? To me, like, to show the self-value, like, you got to add yourself into the equations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do things that you normally don't do. A man normally, we give you an example, and I'm just speaking from experience, right? So like folding clothes and washing towels and cooking when she come home, that shows the value of a leadership. Even because it doesn't make you soft or you weak because you cook, or, you know what I mean? Like that, you seeing the value, see the value of that. You get what I'm saying? So I just think that shows a power or a sign of leadership when you do things that you normally don't do. That's just my opinion. The next question, on the controlling side, controlling partner who has a possessiveness and jealousy and restricted their partner's freedom, or does it restrict their partner's freedom?
You want to go, Mason?
I'm trying to understand the question.
In that question.
Okay. Look, here we go. It says on the controlling side.
Yeah.
Controlling partners who exhibit possessiveness, jealousy, or restrict their partner's freedom.
Yeah, exactly. It's the ultimate sign of weakness. It's not a sign of strength. People think, that is the weakest thing ever. If you feel like you need to control someone because you can't, accept them for who they are, A, it's a terrible relationship, and B, to me, it's just the most cowardice thing of all time. A beautiful relationship is one where I feel like you have a shared belief in the destiny you both want to go, and all you're doing is supporting each other to get there. That's healthy relationship, not a relationship where you have to put these guardrails and controlling on your partner. Exactly. Narcissistic is a perfect word. It's just, bad behavior. And
Master?
I think that, so many people take the word controlling and run with it. I think that there is a way to have boundaries. But if your partner isn't going to follow the boundaries that have been set in a mutual understanding, in a calm understanding, it's okay to be able to draw a line and say, that's not going to be okay for me. But to tell them what they're going to do, we're full grown adults. I don't think we have the authority to tell somebody else what they can or where they can and can't go or what they can and can't wear. But I do think it's okay to have some boundaries and say, hey, I don't want you as a woman, I'm sure a lot of women aren't going to want their man going to a topless bar. Is that controlling that she asked me not to go, or is it just a boundary that she has? You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you guys a question. Like, and this is for the ladies. Like, I think when it comes to controlling, I think women can actually control it. I think women can get away with it more than a man can.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because, and also, jealousy is a sign of form of lack of confidence, right? That just everybody have a little jealousy in them, if you want to call that. But I just think that you don't have enough confidence in your partner, that she chose you though, or he chose you, but you still feel jealous for what? Like why would you be jealous when you know what you got at home? Like for me, that is to me, that's a red flag. I mean, and that's an early sign of controlling. You know what I mean? I just think that is an early sign of control. There's nothing healthy about the word jealousy going too far. You know what I mean? A possessive. I just think that is just a way of, that's just an unhealthy relationship, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It sounds interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. I would say a healthy relationship is built on trust. Like that's number one. I think also what Manson said is such a valid point as well. So it's built on trust, but then there's got to be some shared values that you guys have. And those should be established before you get in a relationship, by the way. So like if you have those shared values, like then I'm with you. Then there can be room for, hey, you said you said one of your values is like, you don't go to strip clubs. And now you're going to, like, fair point. I am going against the values that I've set. So I think that is a fair point. But yeah, trust is everything. And then again, I think to create a healthy relationship, you guys have to have those shared values before you even enter into a relationship, or else I feel like it's destined for failure.
I agree. I just think that if you don't talk about your past, your trauma to your partner, you're gonna go through it. You definitely gonna go through it. You know what I mean? Like we gotta know any trace of signs or that triggers you, we gotta overcome that. Like generation curse made to be broken. Like at the number one, you shouldn't jump in a relationship if you're not over from your past. Stay single till you unpack your bags from your last relationship, right? So don't bring that into the table that will cause you to have discord or what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? So like building that trust when you go into a relationship, building the trust, and I just think a woman or a man should partake in and add your partner into whatever you do. Like I was saying in my stream, if I wear this outfit and I said, babe, you like this outfit? Which outfit you like, this one or this one? You know what I mean? Now you adding that partner into the, you know what I mean, value their opinion versus that I put this on, I don't know if he gonna allow me to wear it or not. And he get mad. You get what I'm saying? I just think that's a sign of controlling. But the next question, it says, in what ways do leaders in a relationship foster open communication, trust, and mutual respect?
Okay, the first word you said, leaders do what?
It said, in what ways do leaders in a relationship foster open communication, trust, and mutual respect?
I think I think, can I take this one, Blake, real quick?
Oh no, dude, I love it.
I think that timing, women want to talk about certain topics at a certain time. You have to know when to speak to them. If you come home and you try to, and the kids are going crazy and bills have been rough and she's had a rough day, knowing when to crack, to have those kind of deep conversations, I think is important. And then the wordage and the tone that you use. Sometimes men come across very aggressive. We come across as very much a matter of fact. And I think sometimes being able to come in and show that you're listening by, responding with the answer that they're asking you, and not just trying to say what we think, but to actually hear what they're saying and respond correctly, and the tone is everything.
Facts.
There's that phrase, it's my way or the highway. And I think what I'm saying is like the exact opposite of that. Like, it's my way or the highway. Again, I think a lot of this is rooted in weakness. This controlling, you're weak. You cheat, you are weak. You know what I mean? Like, a strong man loves to, talk with his partner, loves to listen to his partner, loves to create some shared, idea of what they want to do, so that it's like an amazing experience for both partners. And so I think that strength, that honestly knowledge of oneself too, is because if you're a lead, to me, to really be a leader, you have to know yourself. Like, that's a starting point for me. For me, you cannot be a leader unless you truly know who you are. And it's like you are authentically leading from that core base. So that's the first part. You ain't a leader unless you're in that respect. But at the same time, you have that core. And then it's wonderful to have, again, a shared idea with your partner of what's next, what you guys want to be doing and everything like that. And they know that you're coming from that core place always. So there's that trust.
I actually agree with you when it comes to that. I always say you got to love yourself more than the desire to be loved by anybody else. You got to love yourself more than the desire to be loved by anybody else.
Which is hard, by the way.
You love yourself correctly, you know how to love your partner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you're getting into issues like you're relying on your partner for your happiness. And that is always like a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely, 100%. Y'all, welcome to Take a Seat with Big Country, y'all. I have Blake Premier here and my brother Master, Top Bass Blake. And then I also have my brother Master here, y'all. Today's topic, we're talking about difference between leadership and controlling. So now, listen, number one, gifter of my show will give us the next topic for the following week, for the next two upcoming men that will be on the show. So just be on the lookout, y'all. 8:15. I will end it at 8:15. No later. Later than that, it don't count. Okay. So feel free, y'all, to have some ideas in your head, ladies. I know you may be going through some stuff, or men, you may be going through some stuff right now, and something that you want to get off your chest. You know what I mean? And it's nothing more than having us men, you know what I'm saying, put it on a platform or a table and talk about it. Okay. So here's another question. Can you discuss the impact of leaders in a relationship and who prioritize corporations and compromise and share decision making? Yes, that is big. Decision making is big, man. Huge. That is a huge one. And Brookie, can you put that in the comment?
Yeah, you can go first.
So I think anytime that first and foremost, we haven't talked about this, is the man who's going to lead decision making is going to be able to bend his knee and get on his knee and pray, and first and foremost. So any decision that's happening, I think the man needs to get into prayer and guide the family or the relationship that way. And then being able to hear the other person's side and not think about what is best for you as an individual, but knowing that you don't win if the team doesn't win. So being able to put both people's wants and desires in priority and being able to come up with a type of compromise without lacking anyone having to sacrifice more than the other,
Yo, what a phrase. I love that. The team aspect, I think, is great. I think a healthy relationship, you are so right. It is a team. It's if your partner's suffering, you should feel like you're suffering. And if you're not, Again, that's super unhealthy. Like both of your needs are equally as important, in my opinion. And so a leader who prioritizes cooperation, compromise, shared decision making, that's awesome. That's like we're creating a partnership. That's what it is, a partnership, a shared vision. Now, I do again think it is an attractive trait in a man if you see, okay, this guy has a vision for the future of where he wants to go, rooted in great principles, a great core belief, and boy, he wants to be something special. You know, that big country, that guy's going to be president someday. Blake Premier, he's going to make a great VP. You know, like that's an attractive fact. If you know, and so there's, you know, you don't need to, I don't know, apologize, I guess, for having a future vision of yourself, but at the same time, you're creating a partnership of like, even if I want to be vice president, it's like, it's my needs are not the only ones that matter. If we have a family, I want to move them to Washington, D.C. I still need to talk with my family. I still need to like come up with the group decision of like, hey, this is where I'm going, but yo, we in this together. It's not just me.
I agree with that. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. So going on the vision aspect is a person can visualize where they want to go, but they can't visualize when they're going through it. It's impossible. When you visualize when you want to go, you're not gonna vision. You can't vision when the things and the trials and tribulations that you're gonna go through it. You know what I mean? You need your partner, man. You need your partner. You know what I mean? You got to be able to trust your partner. When you say trust, you got to be able to trust your partner through leadership and compromising. Man, that is a group decision. That is a decision making. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be times that you're gonna have to make a rational decision. You know, and you got to speak on the behalf of your partner. You know, when it comes to decision making. So your partner got to be able to say, you know what, whatever he do or she do, I'm okay with it because I know the best interest that my partner that sees in me and us as a whole. You know what I mean? But when you having a vision of becoming a VP or president, now it sounds, the vision is good, but getting there is gonna be different. You know what I mean? And that's where your partner come in. That I said it earlier. Listen. Your partner got to cover you. The strongest piece on the chessboard is a queen. A woman sees everything. You get what I mean? A woman on the chess piece, she see everything. Your woman will cover you from every aspect that you look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you down at your lowest, she's there. When you find that woman, they're going to cover you through your hard times, your hardships. And that's building. That's nothing wrong as a woman being able to take over to be a leader. A man, listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't know everything all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything. You got to help me. A woman is designed to help you become a better leader. You know what I mean? That is her design, to help you become a better leader, because we don't know everything. You know what I mean? So I just think that compromising and decision making, I love the decision making. I love when my woman put me in like, hey, you know what? You like this, you like this. Do you want to go here? You want to go there? I think that's good help. That's leadership to me. You know what I mean? Good partnership is a sign of leadership. And that's a very good question, man. So here's the next question, y'all. Versus controlling. Partners who assert dominancy to make, what it say? I can't see. It says unilateral decision without considering their partner's input. Like, I just talked about that. Like, you make a decision without adding your partner in it. I don't understand that. How, man, I can't sit on the couch. I'm not sitting on the couch. I make a decision without her in it. Or she make a decision, me not being included. Especially when it comes to certain decisions. You know what I mean? So what you think about that question, though, Blake?
Yeah, again, I think that comes from weakness. I think that is an ultimate sign of weakness if you're not able to work with your partner to come up with a shared vision. Also, us three all have a religious input. Mine comes from a Judaism background, but in Judaism, we actually believe that like our soulmate, our partner is out there, and our soul is actually not complete until we meet that partner. And once we meet that partner, we're able to achieve the highest vision of ourselves. So in some way, me being single right now feels like I'm a little bit of a lost soul. And like, you know, and to really be complete like that partner. At the same time, like that belief, that kind of religious belief is based in the belief that like your partner and you are going to create this together, and you can't get to where you want to go without your partner. So if you're at a point with this incredibly big part of your life and all you're trying to do is just make them feel inferior, like you have lost, you have lost in life, because there's no way you can achieve the best of your vision without someone who's supportive. And at the same time, you need to be so supportive of your partner. You need to believe your partner's destined for any dream she has. And it's like that shared, I'm helping you achieve your dreams, you're helping me achieve mine. Like we're both helping each other achieve whatever dreams we have. Like that's a beautiful relationship. And that's what I want to be in.
I agree. I agree. What you think, Master?
I'm gonna go against the grain on this one, Country, because I do think that there's sometimes where a man, and I'm talking about strictly in a protection type situation. If somebody comes in the middle of the night, starts pounding on the door, I got to make a split decision, because it's gonna be me going out there to defend the family most of the time, right? So, like for me to say get the kids and go upstairs, I don't need to have an argument at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that that's controlling. That's just, there has to be certain times where things get there, you know, that voice has to come, and I don't think that's controlling. I think that can be also just leadership.
Yeah, I was just talking about the soulmate part he was talking about.
Oh,
I agree with him on. I agree
yeah,
with him on the soulmate.
that part was 100%. Yes, I do think that we need to remember as men that if we put restrictions on our partner, it's restricting us, because we're one. You know, it says in the Bible that he left his mother and father and became one with his wife. So you know, if you're holding that person back, it says if you don't love your wife as you love yourself, right? So we have to love her and know that if we're putting restraints on that, we're putting restraints on our future as well. So I do think that you know. Anyway, yeah.
No, I have to agree. I mean, based on first religion, like I think nothing can't be complete without a woman. You know what I mean? Like you need, like again, I always say you live in, I don't know if you live in a house or a townhome or a townhouse, but you can't call it home till you put a woman in it. You can give a person some groceries, but you can't call it a meal. You can have some food. I just ate, but a meal makes it whole. When you say the word meal, we just had a meal together. Like that is a whole. You need a woman in your life to make it complete. And I agree with you guys, you know, Blake, like your soulmate, and you're right. Like at some point, like you lost until you find your partner.
Yeah.
You know, and to be truthfully honest with you, I was in a relationship for 13 years. She taught me so much. Man, I learned so much from her. You know what I mean? It always wasn't bad. It was a lot of peaches and cream, but I learned so much from her. You know, and being around somebody that's good and just loving on you, it helps you become a better man if you look at it or not. May not look at it right then and now, you know what I mean? But I agree with you on that. And then the controlling part, man, sometimes, you know, women don't want to be in a certain situation when there's somebody outside the house. That's when a man come into play and make that decision. You know what I mean? Without hug the tent, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about like if you want to travel or you want to do this, I think, you know, if like what you call it said, unless it's surprising. When you surprise strictly for your partner, that's different. You know what I mean? So there's some very good answers, man. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to Me and Take a Seat with Big Country, y'all. We have Top Badge Blake Premier here. We got Manston here. Feel free while y'all here, y'all, please hit them with that favorite and hold your questions to the end. You know what I mean? So it says, can a female be controlling? Hey, Brooke, you put that in the comment. Says, can a female be controlling, and does that make her lose respect for the man if he doesn't have a leadership role? The leadership role. Oh man, I don't know if man, that's
it's a tough question. I can answer this, I think.
This is my question.
So first off, I think controlling on either end is an L. If a man's controlling, L. If a female is controlling, L. So I want to get that straight. So any controlling, to me, that is gender neutral. That's Manson's question. My bad.
No, see, that's one of the questions he pointed out. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Blake. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So I'm just saying. So to me, that's an L. Anyways, here's the thing. Again, I think it is all about actually, it's all about supporting each other's vision of how they want your life to be lived. That's a relationship to me. And so there are some aspects that maybe you're taking control of, but maybe there's some aspects, that she's taking control of herself. Like, my partner, I want to sit down. I want to know, what is her dreams? Does she want to have kids? Does she want to have a family? Like, what is her aspirations? Does she want to be like president of the United States? Whatever her dreams are. And hey, here are my dreams. And our goal is to support each other and to love each other. So yeah, I think there are certain aspects that you'll take control of. Maybe she's taking control of, but as long as you guys are supporting each other, I think that's a really awesome relationship. But Manson, I'm curious your thoughts, because it's a really good question.
Yeah. So I do think Big Country said this a minute ago. I do think women get away with this a lot more than men do, because women still, let me see your phone. Let me do that, and they sometimes can have insecurities as well. And I feel like when that power struggle starts, it breeds a bed of toxicity, because when a man is feeling like he can't lead and she's controlling him, he retaliates the same type of energy and matches that energy. And because we're men, we can go over the top sometimes. So sometimes what she might be starting off as a minimum control, I think it makes the man want to be like, okay, well, if I can't do this, you can't do that. And then it becomes a power struggle as to who is gonna, and then that's not leading, that's being controlling. And it just, so it becomes toxic and counterintuitive. I do think also that a big part of that question was, does a woman lose respect for a man who can't lead? And a lot of women nowadays, especially with this feminine movement, I feel like they say that I don't want a man to lead me. I don't want a man. But the minute that a man doesn't show that he can provide, that he can lead, she starts naturally looking for somebody that can. And somebody going to her best friends and giving her problems to her best friends and letting her best friend give her advice, a male best friend or something. And so I do think that it's important that when a woman looks at a man to find attraction to him, she also has to know that he can lead her. I think that that's a big thing that men lose, because we become controlling. It becomes a turnoff for women, not knowing how to lead and becoming controlling. It makes a woman run, I think.
So I got, like, my question is off the top, like, where do you think the controlling come from when it comes from a woman?
I think from either party, it comes from insecurity. So complete insecurity is obviously the number one aspect. There's some insecurity there, insecurity in the relationship, insecurity from the past, and like, oh, is this going to be the same thing of I'm dating a guy who's going to cheat on me? So like, as you said, the healing of your past is essential, but it's definitely coming from a place of insecurity and a lack of, again, self belief, in my opinion.
So I got one. You said this the other day. Selfishness. I think controlling sometimes comes from selfishness, because some people have been single for so long that they feel like we got to do it my way, because if we don't do it my way, then I don't feel comfortable with it. And so a lot of people are like, if you want to be with me, like Blake said earlier, it's the my way or the highway type attitude. And I think that breeds a ground of controlling.
Well, I mean, I don't think insecurity, like, I'm trying to sit here and think like insecurity people, that's be the least controlling, my thing, insecurity wise. My question is like, cause see, me controlling is a form of aggression. You know what I mean? Like a different type of tone. I seen women and men, like, they voice get a little different when they feel like controlling, feel like they running things. You know what I mean? Like, they voice tones, and then like, I just think that what caused a person to be in the controlling, and one of the things that I got, one of the worst cop outs I got, so my dad was that way. How I grew up. You know what I mean? I used to hear that all the time. You know what I mean? Like, my dad was a drummer. My dad was, control my mom, and this I am because of my dad. No, I just think that's a cop out. You know what I mean? Like, what really caused controlling? I just think what you said goes back to Blake. That's a sign of weakness. Some people take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like they really do take advantage of, I can run this man, he'll do what I want, he'll give me what I want, or vice versa. The man, you know what I mean? Like the woman do what I want to do. You know what I mean? She gonna listen to what I say. Now, again, women are more prone because they nurturers. They're gonna be more scared than a man. But I seen women knock men off their feet. You get what I'm saying? So like it's just a sign of weakness. Like, you know what I mean? But you have some, and the ones that have a sign of weakness is the ones that take advantage of it. That is the problem. When they take advantage of your sign of weakness. No, it's not a man being vulnerable, but you took it as a sign of weakness. You get what I mean? And they start controlling off that. You know. So that's just my opinion. I can be wrong, but I just look at it that when you start controlling somebody, like when do a person start controlling? You don't start controlling in the beginning of a relationship. Things have to happen to make them feel comfortable that they have you in control. What part is that in that when it comes to, you know what I mean, Blake? Like when does it come into play when you feel like you in control now? You know what I mean? Because a woman or a man in the beginning of a relationship, they see the sign of controlling, they ain't gonna be with that man or that woman.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. And like when I said insecurity, I think you a top badge in here, LMFB. I think you brought up a good point. Everyone has insecurity. So I probably meant more of a lack of trust. So that's probably what I meant by feeling insecure about the relationship. Yeah.
The next question is, by a woman not submitting and fighting for that leadership role, does that make a man become more controlling? Whoa. So number one, why would you want to fight?
Yeah.
When a woman should already know her role. Like that is, how many independent women we have in here? Like truly independent, been single for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. Now, you guys listen, women are leaders, right? I'm gonna just tell you, women rule the world. I'm gonna just throw it out there. But here's the question, ladies. Is it really, really easy to get in a relationship? Now, I'm gonna say this for me. I've been on a date, right? I want a woman in my life. I want a woman. I've been single for so long, but when you go on a date, I'm like, man, I can't deal with this. It's so easy to get out of it because you've been single for so long, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not easy. It's not easy just walking and say, you know, I want a relationship, get a relationship. So nice, and next thing you know, what happened? Oh, I just couldn't do it. I felt some kind of way. Now you start feeling something that's really not there. Maybe sometimes that you see signs, but it be signs that's not there. You get what I mean? So I'll let you guys answer that question. He said a woman is not submitting and fighting for a leadership role. Does it make a man become more controlling?
Yeah, I guess a weak man. Like again, if you're a strong-willed individual that has a depth of core belief you believe in, then you again will not become a controlling person, in my opinion. So I think that's there. It's a tough question. By women not submitting and fighting for that leadership role, does it make, again, yeah, I think a weak man, a man who doesn't know himself, maybe he'll default to controlling as a crutch for not being a true man himself and a true leader. You know, that maybe that's why he would end up controlling. But yeah, I'll say that. I also want to make a very interesting point because it's a really little good discussion in the chat about like, I make my own money so I can do what I want. Classy women said that. And I think that is a good point. And I think it's an underrated point of a relationship. I think, listen, it's not just, in my opinion, this could be controversial for us. I don't think it's only the man's job to make income for a family. Like, for example, I've been in points in my life where I've started my own business and it took a lot of effort and sacrifice and money. And for a period, I was not bringing in so-called, the money, and I was dating someone and she was making more than me. I had no issue with that. She knew I had this vision of creating a huge events company. This is the part I was at, and when she was supporting my dreams, I was supporting her. So I don't think, solely money like dictates leadership. But I just brought a lot. To go for it, bro.
Yeah, So I wanted to back that up. I don't think, I believe in the Bible and I follow it, and everything where God had gone to a man first, he went to Adam first, he went to Noah first. We know the Bible. He didn't look at their bank account. He didn't care what they had financially before he came to a man. He went to a man because he said, you're the head, not the tail. And so I do want to back up a little bit. And we've done a lot of like anti-controlling, but we haven't talked about what real, like, true leadership is. And sometimes when a lot of women who are in this category, and this was my question, and the reason that I brought this up is because I feel like it would do the women some justice to also know that so many women have this, I want a man to come in and sweep me off my feet. He needs to be, there's a song now, 6'6", blue eyes, trust fund, 6 figure. They have this perfect role of what they want the man to be. And then they get this man in their life and they don't want to submit. Why, right? And when I mean submit is everything's an argument, everything's a debate, everything is and I think that sometimes can cause toxicity in the relationship when a woman refuses in anything to follow. I think that something that a man has to do is we have to know how to follow before you lead. You can't be a leader if you never know how to follow, right? And so I think that that's really important, is we show that back to our partner.
This is a very interesting topic, and this is what the question match. I said this earlier in my stream. A woman don't want to date a broke man, but a man would date a rich man would date a broke woman.
Absolutely,
100% without a doubt. Maybe some women, but overall, y'all, you'll take a rich woman that's successful, won't give a man the time of the day because of the ego or what they stand for, women feminism. Like, they won't even look at a broke man. LB, you may be rare, but I'm gonna tell you right now, a man will easily take a woman and make a broke woman out of a successful woman. Women really don't. I hear someone, I don't want no broke man. I don't want no broke, you know what I'm saying? You don't hear them saying, I don't want no broke woman. You know what I mean? Like, she ain't got to have something, like, that is something that literally I've seen it happen so many times. A man will give a woman time of the day because what she got is trust me, the power of the power. But women don't need a man for certain things. They can do without. I hear it all the time. I don't need a man. I can do without. You know what I mean? Like, it says the mental of men. But what I'm saying is, like, I hear this over and over and over again. I don't need a man. I can do without a man. You know what I mean? How often do you hear a man say, I don't need a woman? You get what I'm saying? So, like, right.
I said this the other day. So women want, money and land and all these things. Men want land so we can impress a woman. Men want money so we can impress a woman. Men want to be the toughest guy in the room so we can protect our woman. A lot of the things that men want at the end of it, it's to get a good woman. So women do drive men, I think, in a lot of ways. If you look at every king, every conqueror, they wanted a good woman behind them. So God does say that he made her as our helpmate. So I don't think we can be complete without a good woman by our side. We can't be the best that we're supposed to be. We're all three single bachelors right now, but I guarantee if we had a good, no matter how good in life we're doing financially, mentally, physically, if we had a good woman behind us, we would only be a better version of ourselves. And I think the three of us could agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. A woman will cover you in prayer and cover you when you're not even thinking. They're just out there, so nurturing her, right? So the next question, can you explore the long-term outcome of leadership approaching a relationship that prioritize equality, emotions, support, and mutual growth? Can you put that in the comment? Can you support that? Like, I'm always, listen, I'm from the South. I don't know culture-wise, because some coaches stick by their man. Some of these coaches, based on culture, where you was raised, how you was raised.
Yeah. Listen, this question is everything I've been saying. So yeah, I think a wonderful role of a leader is prioritizing, especially in a relationship. Mutual growth is everything. And I would like to, I've been getting a little distracted because these questions in the comments, bro, have been epically good. We are getting bombarded with like fantastic questions. For example, Ocean asked, so would you see it as okay for your female to be a housewife, stay home, raise the kids as opposed to work, or it needs to be equal? Ocean, my reply is exactly this question, actually. It's all about a mutual like growth and a mutual understanding of what are the dreams and aspirations. I personally will never judge. There are plenty of guys out there who want to stay home, want to raise kids. I don't think they're inferior. I'm sorry. Wonderful. That's the shared vision that they have. For me, I can't wait to have kids, but I also have very high dreams for myself to start businesses and stuff like that. So, that for me wouldn't be the priority to just be a guy who just stays at home with the kids. But I'm just saying, I don't feel like that's an inferior man. But what I'm trying to say is, I think this question is exactly the dream scenario, in my opinion, that leadership has equity, emotional support, and mutual growth is everything to me.
I don't think you can get any of those things if you don't have something to lean on yourself. So for me, it's my higher power and being able to pray and ask for humility. I think too many men forget to ask for humility, and we want to have all the answers. We want to have, and sometimes being able to lead is being able to say, I don't know the answer about that. Give me time to think about it, and not always having a solution to their problem. But being able to say, let me pray on this, and let me get guidance from a higher power. So I think humility is key.
Here's a very good question, yo. What is the sign of controlling behavior in a relationship?
If tempers flare, if things are not, if every time you try to talk about something, there's, an argument. If you can't communicate without saying I. I think if you start thinking, well, I don't like you doing this, and I don't want you doing this, and I don't feel like this is okay, I think that shows some signs of controlling. I feel like this, I feel like that. When it becomes an I conversation, there's one person in it, and that is a control factor, I think.
Yeah, and I think there's a lack of excitement, a lack of passion. If it's solely controlling behavior, I think you are not allowing a beautiful, loving, like wonderful, creation to happen. Because I think the consequences are lack of passion. Just you're having a partner now who's just going along with it, just to go along with it. They're only reaching a certain level of happiness because all they're doing is going along with it, rather than being super excited and super passionate about what you're doing. And now it's like then you're reaching a really amazing level with your partner.
I think also is a sign of submitting your wrongs. Like if you never admit your wrongs, it's 100% controlling them. God, you got to say I'm wrong, you wrong. God is always right. You got to admit your wrongs, man. You're going to be wrong in a relationship, but like the signs of controlling to me, man, is I'm going off my experience, right? Don't become a yes man.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you become a yes man, they go. Little as you know, man, everything you do is you're gonna start telling you instead of asking. You're gonna go from asking to telling. Now, you know what I mean? Like, don't become a yes man. Like listen, y'all, you gotta throw your opinion and be opinionated in your relationship. Because a woman wants to feel that you're leading. You know what I mean? So like when you start controlling the scenario, like, well, we are going to go there, you're gonna say, okay, I want to do this, okay. Like, you may not even, in your mind, you may not even want to go. You know what I mean? Like, and to the point, like, we going there. I seen women sound like men, boy. They, like, tell you what you can and can't do. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't never thought I could ever see that point, man. But, like, that lack of confidence, man, and to me, lack of confidence and lack of communication is a sign of controlling. Because if you don't communicate enough, they're gonna start doing things on their own. Go ahead, King.
Do you feel that women, this is a question that I wanted to get and I forgot to put it on the thing. Do you feel that women use the word controlling too much when they get into relationships? Do you think that they can be a victim to that word because it's gotten such, so anytime a man puts any kind of leadership, I think a lot of men are afraid to lead now and take the back seat because they don't want to be labeled as controlling. Do you think that that has a valid statement?
I personally, I don't hear the women say controlling too much. Use the word controlling too much. One word that I usually hear women say, which I think is overrated, I just think how you use it is narcissism.
Yeah.
They throw that around like, and then listen, when a woman says something, it's believable. When a man says something, it's questionable. You know what I mean? Because a woman can say something, you're gonna believe it. A man gonna believe it regardless, and a woman. But when a man says something, it's questionable. So I don't really hear controlling too much. I hear narcissism. You know what I mean? So that's a form of controlling. If you wanna look at it that way, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that's just a lack of depth. I think that's lack of depth and a lack of like getting to know each other before you enter this deep partnership. Like, because if you're entering in this deep partnership, you really got to know each other. You really get to know what each other stands for. You really get to know what each other's dreams are. You really get to create a foundation. And with a foundation, a healthy foundation, a trustful foundation, I think that's when it's a very like healthy circumstance. But if you're automatically like first date or whatever, and then you're like maybe leading in a certain direction, like it's maybe a little bit too soon. So maybe it's like a lack of depth can lead to a more like, I don't know, controlling aspect.
I agree with you, Ocean, but I agree with you, but women use that like, man, they just get thrown around like it ain't nothing. And then when you use the word narcissist, when a narcissist, like you're the worst person in America. Like, you know what I mean? Like you make the male or the female look bad. I don't really hear narcissism from a woman. I hear a lot from men say men are, you know what I mean? But like, it takes two, man. People forget. Like I always say, you should never assassinate your partner's character. You should never go to your mom or your friend or your cousins and talk about your man because they're gonna look like a narcissist, right? You're gonna look bad, and now you planted an evil seed in their heart. Now your mom don't like your man, your friend don't like your man, and your cousin don't like based on what you told him. He didn't have no reason to, like to hold himself up. Can't even defend himself. But it looks bad though. And then when he get around mom, cousin, sister, brother, man, they looking at him crazy sideways, and you know what I mean? Like, he don't even know what's going on. We know we got an argument. So, like, when it comes to that, man, like, I don't really hear the word, like, as far as controlling goes, but I do hear.
I think if somebody holds the key to being anti-narcissist is accountability. Somebody who has accountability cannot be a narcissist. So if the person is coming back and saying they're sorry, if you're seeing changed behavior, if you're seeing them trying to change situations to not run into the same problems, that's not a narcissist. That's just somebody who has some bad behavior. And I think women think that just because men, don't change right away, that we are being narcissists. And I don't agree with that.
Yeah, true. And I think, I think narcissism is simple as the desire to receive for yourself alone, which is crazy to me. But I do see it. I even see it on this app sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, you think the world revolves around you? Like, the gift of life is beautiful for all of us. We are so freaking lucky to be here. Like, I am so lucky to be in a guest on a big country show right now. Trust me, I know that. But that can be on either side, So if someone has the desire, they think they are elevated more than their partner, that can also be a sign, that maybe they'll be controlling because they're thinking, oh, I'm this special being and like my life is so important. Like you have to fall under that. So that can be on any side. And it's a side I look for on the first date. Like it's one of the things I love, like learning someone's character on a first date. aside from I love knowing what's your favorite music artist, you know, and I love that stuff too. You know, what's our favorite concert, where we want to travel, which is awesome on the first date. I still want to know a little bit of like, okay, what's your character? What are some your core beliefs? Like, who's the person you are and who's the person you're becoming? Because that's so crucial to me to a healthy relationship.
I agree. Well, so hello. Listen, y'all. So now we only got 10 minutes. The highest gifter of my show will give us the next topic. So watch out for the snipe. You know, do what you want to do. But I'm just saying, you know, throwing it in there 10 minutes. So right now, y'all, we're going to take time out to open up the box for you guys to jump in and ask one question. A simple question. We're going to try to make it short and brief. If you have a person that you want to ask a question to, even if you don't want to jump in the box, put in the comments. You know what I mean? If you have a question for Blake or Manson or myself, please feel free, y'all. We have a good 10 minutes left. I forgot my question.
You have a tuck down.
Hello.
Well, hello.
My question is, where do you guys get your outfits? Because y'all looking fire. I just walked in the room and I'm like, oh my God, we got Blake with a suit. We got Ocean, look like he on Ocean 11. We got over here Maston with the tie. I mean, this is looking good, gentlemen.
Well, you know,
Thank you.
the topic today is the difference between leadership and controlling. You know, in my stream on this
I got
show,
a question.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say, you know, a man protects and provides and he pays all the bills. How do you provide without being controlling?
Anybody want to answer that? That's easy for me, but anybody want to ask?
Yes, you want to go, Memphis?
I didn't hear the question. I was typing something.
Oh,
If a man provides, be providing and not be controlling.
yeah.
I don't think that ties in at all together. Again, someone made the comment earlier, I make more money, I can do whatever I want. That to me, money doesn't show success.
Yeah.
Because Ocean made a comment earlier, if I stay at home and I raise the kids, does that not give me equal, you know, say? And, you know, a person who stays at home and raises kids and deals with day-to-day stress of raising the children has just an equal.
Hey, hello, I'm gonna rotate you quick because we got these are quick questions, everybody in here.
Good answer, y'all. Love you.
Well, hello.
I don't think finances has to do with that.
Let me say this too. If a partner is dating you just because of your finance, oh my gosh, you know, that is a horrible thing. God forbid something happens, you lose your job. Again, for me, being an entrepreneur, sometimes like my business can go down. Like I can lose a lot of money out of nowhere. And if your relationship is not built on a foundation of love, trust, shared values, it's just because you make a certain amount of money. Like, yo, it's doomed.
Yeah. Well, I got a question. This is Ocean's. She said, should a woman forfeit their goals and ambitions for the sake of their man's goals?
No,
that's where the compromise come in. That's where the compromise part come in. Because listen, you can build together, but to build an empire, it takes both of y'all.
Yes.
Anybody can do a business, but the empire is long lasting. You know what I mean?
So like, let's say they've helped you guys get to wherever you are at. Now you're so busy trying to keep that empire going. Really, how are you going to support that woman?
Well,
quality
their
time.
goals now.
Go ahead.
Quality time. It's not about quantity of time, it's about quality time. So you could be spending 4 hours with your woman a day, but it's like you're not talking about anything of consciousness, you're not building anything. Where, hey, you could be doing your stuff, but you got to make time. And in that 30 minutes, you guys are talking about real stuff, the family you have, what you're building and all that. And so for me, it's just all about quality time.
You can't build anything without a blueprint.
Ooh.
Got to be all laid out. You
Yeah.
can't build nothing without a blueprint. So the blueprint, our foundation of our life, what we plan on doing, we got to lay the foundation there. You can't build a house without concrete. Who's going to build a house on sand? So the fact is, like, if you believe in my business, the vision of my business, we believe in that. Okay, once it take off, we're gonna get yours up and running. That's what true leadership is. We ain't gonna forget where you're going, because that is your passion. I'm not going to subtract your passion for what you believe in or your vision. I'm not taking that away. But you believe, and that's the sign of submitting to a good man. If you believe in your man and he's a leader, you're going to follow your man and his vision through the thick and thin. Once he get it up and running, you believe the fact that he going to say, you know what, baby, it's your turn. Let's get yours up off the ground. That is true leadership. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is my answer. So I don't know about yours.
That was mic drop.
Can I don't know if Keto Game KT will get in, but she asked on earlier and she said, is there coming back from your partner telling you that they hate you?
What
I just
happened?
thought that was, is
They
there
hate
any
you?
coming back from after your partner tells you that they hate you? Is there any coming back from that? I thought that was a good question in there earlier.
I'll take this. One, you know, God talks about forgiveness and forgive others as you want to be forgiven. That doesn't mean you have to forget it. But if it was said in a moment of anger where things are being said back and forth in both ways, you have to watch and see what you said too to provoke that. If it's being said all the time, no, I don't think. I think that there's some validity in it. There's some truth to it. If they're saying that all the time, you probably need to go. But if it was said one time in a heated argument and a debate, what have you said that made them triggered to say that? You know, and what were they saying, that they hate you, or did they hate the behavior you were showing? So I think that there's a lot of factors into that question.
That was a fantastic answer. I just want to say that.
Here's my
You've
thing.
been on point too, bro. You've been on point tonight too, Blake. You've said a lot of great.
Here's my thing, y'all. Like, you got to have room for your mess ups. Mess up come with growth. Like, you're going to mess up. So is that hating one thing gonna cause you to separate when you can build something that's have more value? If the person's working fighting for, but like people say stuff they don't mean or do things because we human, we make mistakes, right? So you're going to mess up. The question is, what you gonna do with your mess ups? You gonna talk about it? Let's get through it and move on. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be a time that even your woman going to mess up. Your man going to mess up. You going to mess up. Mess up comes with growth. Like, you can't become a master chef without messing up. You can't
It's
become a
when-
master carpenter if you don't mess up.
Right, but it's when they're doing the same thing over and over and over. That's when you got to be like,
That's
hey,
different.
like, you know, like,
I agree.
That's
I
why
agree.
if it's said in a one-time heated argument, you know, that's one thing. You know, but if it's said over,
Communication is important, but comprehension is key. You got to be able to comprehend what you're putting down. So like this, I say it all the time, I'd rather walk away from a relationship than get mad at one. Because when a person apologizes and being manipulated by an apology, that does not come with changed behavior. If you apologize, what's the problem you proving me that you apologize? What's wrong with that? Like, you should really prove to me that you're really sorry.
yeah.
And most men throw it under the rug.
I read somewhere that it takes like, it's easy to have
Space in
respect,
your
but
head.
like once you do something, it takes 2 years for your brain and your body to get over that and build that trust up again fully to where it was. Like,
believe
it
it.
takes for your brain to, like, I guess it holds on to things. So it said it takes 2 years without that thing being repeated for you to fully get over that.
I find it hard, difficult time. But I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, look,
How can you
7
put a
positive
timeline on
comments to
how long it's gonna
counteract
take?
1 negative.
I'm saying, how can
Pardon?
you put a timeline how long you're gonna take though?
But I was just saying, like, it was some scientific thing. It was like really
We
interesting.
got
I
1
read
minute
all
left,
about it,
y'all.
and it
1
and
minute.
it
I wanted to thank you, bro.
spoke about just like it's the imbalances. It's just like what Ocean just said. 7 positive comments counteract 1 negative comment. Like, you gotta have more positives than like to counteract that 1 negative thing. So I got told like, there's like people getting told they're fat, they're fat, they're fat, they're fat, you're dumb, like all the time. You could be told you're smart, but you've had so many negatives that it takes you so long. In my brain, I think about things that happened years ago. Yeah.
Right. But
they're
you'll never
cursed
forget.
word, yeah.
You'll never want to forget the things that brought you back and put you down, because they keep you from going back. That motivates me. When I
Right,
saw
but then
my mom
that's
and my
talking
dad,
about like you're bringing in those insecurities into that relationship. I guess that would be that, and then that leads to the controlling and all those sort of negative aspects to this.
I just think that like stay single till you unpack your bags, man. Like I just can't put a timeline because I'm built different. I think different. So like if I'm ready and if I'm dating someone, I come in. You know how your job say leave your mess at the outside the door. When you come, I need you 100% on point. You know what I mean? So like I just say like when you come into a relationship, you gotta leave all that behind. You gotta be prepared and be ready. Don't bring up your past, what you know what I mean? Like in a way of going against you. You should always talk about your trauma. You get what I mean? But don't bring up your past going against the person. But I just
And
think
as
that
long as you're working on it as well, you've got to be working on it. You can't just be like, oh, that's me, like that's my trauma, that's me. You got to be trying
Yeah.
to face it either together as well, like, or that's a little bit of a trigger, but we're going to work on it and gain that trust and stuff like that in a relationship, and it will get better.
Can I speak on this? I just found something the other day, and the lady said in the podcast, she said so many people get out of relationships and play victim that they wind up not learning anything from the relationship because it's so easy to say, well, they did this, they did that, they lied, they cheated, they did this, they treated me this way. And you go into the next relationship carrying all that trauma and all that hurt, and you didn't learn anything. The best thing to do is when you leave a relationship is, even if they lied, even if they cheated, even if they weren't the best partner, is look back and say, okay, what did I do in my behavior that I could change for me? And if you take accountability in the breakup and say, okay, I should have set better boundaries. I should have left at this point. I shouldn't have waited this long to let him talk to me this way or let her talk to me this way. I should have put this into perspective. And you change that behavior so that when you go into the next relationship, you're going to have more confidence in the relationship because you looked at what you could do better, and it gives you confidence going into the next relationship versus going into the relationship as a victim and going into it as saying, I'm not as secure because I just got hurt in my last relationship. But if we take that time to be accountable, we go into it with growth, and that gives us security in ourselves. So
yeah. No, that's great. I think it's all about identity. So if you see yourself as someone who always gets hurt or, you know, stuff like that, it's almost like a prophecy that you're creating for yourself. Like, and so that's part of like the healing of yourself. Same for like a man, a strong man, a leadership man. It's like we have awesome identities of ourselves. We see ourselves as like great men who are serving this world with intent and everything like that. And I think because of that strong identity, like that's going to attract the partner of our dreams. Like, you know.
I agree. I always say trauma explains behavior, but it does not excuse behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it explains your behavior, but it doesn't excuse it because like you got to talk about it. You know what I mean? So like, but anyway, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. It's the end of my show, man. You guys continue to talk about it because you know other people have to go down the timer right now. But Blake, thank you so much. It was truly an honor. Blake Premier, top best Blake Premier. Man, thank you, brother. Man, it's truly an honor to have you on my show. This is my very first one. You know what I mean? So on this side. So thank you, man. So number one, I want to ask you you know, what let people know when you stream and you know what you do, shows and everything.
So first off, I want to say this. I've met Big Country in person, and I protect my time on the app a bit of like being a guest on the show. But I'm just letting you know, bro, when I got you want to be on the Big Country show? I said 100%. Because, bro, I really mean that, man. What you guys see on stream is 100% who this guy is in person. I respect you as a man. I respect you as a friend. I know we don't interact like all the time, but again, I'm all about quality time. And whenever we do interact, whenever we see each other, it's nothing but love. So I have so much respect for you, bro. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, your boy's getting back into streaming a bit, so I'm definitely being more consistent. Top Badge No Bro World is a spectacular streamer. Him and I, every Tuesday and Thursday nights now, are doing about 2 hours of battling. we just do fun. We do silly games with each other. Like literally, if you're tired of watching battles where people are putting each other down, come see us. We're just having fun. We're being silly. Like we're bringing battles back to like a fun time. So that's every Tuesday, Thursday. That's about it for now. Thank you guys so much for having me. So much love to you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Hey, the next target though, Blake, we need Chris Casper on the show. And twist his ankle a little bit, you know what I mean? Tell him we need him on that show when we see we can just, get him in there, man. You know what I mean? I know he probably would. We got a very good relationship, you know what I mean? And so Master, I appreciate you, bro. Let's let you know we had called audible. It kind of worked out in our favor because Blake Master is the one that brought this topic to surface, and my brother Irv couldn't make it, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you, Master. So it kind of worked out in his favor, man. I appreciate. So anything you want to say, to the people?
No, man. It was an honor to be on your show. And I'm not really a streamer, but I'm always in Big Country Stream. If y'all ever need prayer or anything, just hit me up. I'm kind of a box hopper. I wanted to read this real quick, bro. And I'm kind of being bold, if that's okay, real quick. So it's for everybody that's in a relationship. And I don't write a lot of poetry, but I wrote one a while back. And it says, "Don't forget" is the name of it. And it says, "When you truly love someone, don't ever fight about dirty dishes or laundry or any chores, because when they are gone, your house can be as clean as a hospital, but as cold as a morgue. Don't fight about money. Your bank accounts can be full, but money can't buy real love. It can't make a house turn into a home. Or can it take that lonely feeling of truly eating all alone? Don't forget to tell your spouse thank you every morning for them wanting to be by your side. Thank them for being part of this lifelong ride. Thank God for putting them in your path, and never stop working at it if you want your love to last. Don't forget, pray with them and ask them if they are truly all right, and don't forget to cuddle them every night. Don't ever forget it was each a choice to join and each a choice to stay, and that choice is made each and every day. So why doubt and waste your time away? Don't forget, watch every single word you say, because in the end, it could just be some words that push your true love away. So don't forget, build them up, don't push them down, because if you do, your love will surely drown. Don't forget to be kind, and even in the smallest of ways, if you truly want your true love to stay, don't forget. So
I like that.
Sometimes we forget, sometimes we forget and we take people for granted, and we're not promised. Big Country's been saying this a lot. We're not promised tomorrow, nobody's promised tomorrow. So, if you love somebody, tell them you love them. If you care about somebody, tell them you care about them. And actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, it does, man. Again, I love this show, man. I want to take the time out though. Can I say something, y'all? Number one, I'm gonna be honest. Joe Best, you in here? Brookie, Ocean.